And welcome in live to the first Next Level Broadcasting live stream for high school football of 2023. We're live from Pickford, Michigan. Charles Strail, joined by TB, our executive producer, Johnny Burkhart, running our camera, and our new main man, Christian S., out of Central Michigan University, fresh off the streets of Mount Pleasant. He hopped on the microphone and joined us as we drove up I-75 north across the mighty Mac, and here he finds himself in Pickford, Michigan, getting ready to take in the first game of the season between the Snowbirds and the Panthers. Christian, how you doing?
Doing well, Charles. How are you?
Doing great, my friend. Pleasure to have you. Could you tell everybody a little bit about, you can just kind of say, I'm ready to get the pregame jitters out for game number one.
That's basically it. I'm ready to get the pregame jitters out. Game number one. My first time being on air for play-by-play, and fresh out of CMU's broadcasting program.
Yeah,
I'm ready to get right into it.
That's right. Well, I mean, this should be a very, very good game to kind of dip your toes into high school football, 8-player football between the Snowbirds and the Panthers. Today's pregame show is brought to you by Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport. That's TVC, Fly TVC. And let's say this, Cherry Capital Airport is your gateway to Northern Michigan. Now is the time to fly TVC. TVC Airport will also get to your dream destination anywhere in the world. To book your next flight or vacation departure or arrival, visit tvcairport.com. We're going to step aside here. This is the Traverse City Fly TVC Cherry Capital Airport pregame show on Next Level Broadcasting. Snowbirds and Panthers coming up in about 10 minutes right after this.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
And we're back. Big thank you to our sponsor of the pregame show, Cherry Capital Airport, reminding everyone to fly TVC to come in and out of Northern Michigan. We're about 15 minutes away from kickoff here in Pickford, Michigan, between the Snowbirds and the Panthers. One thing that we're going to see a lot of in this game in about 15 to 20 minutes here, Christian and everyone tuning in, is we're going to see two teams that want to pound the ball. They want to run the ball, run the clock, possess the ball, and dominate time of possession. Very similar to what you see in Ann Arbor with Michigan and their style of play. They want to dominate time of possession, kind of batter their opponents into oblivion by being able to chew up, get 4 or 5 yards of carry, and then in the second half, when the defense starts wearing down a little bit, pop a couple big runs against those defenses.
Well, I mean, when you've worn down your opposing team's defense, you've broken up their shell a little bit, roughed them up. Yeah, of course you want to come straight in right up the gut, hit them even more where it hurts.
That's right, and when you can mentally or physically tire down an opponent, oftentimes that mental side gets or is next in line. So that'll be something that we need to keep an eye on as well. A couple impact players that we want to make mention of for the Gaylord St. Mary Cathedral Snowbirds. Want to look at quarterback, and that is none other than Daniel Jacobson. He's listed at 5'10", 165, plays quarterback and DB. Jacobson, the junior, but a couple of impact players on the defensive side of the football that we would be remiss if we didn't mention, and that's senior Brett Krishoniak, who's 5'10", 170, plays all over the field, and then senior Dylan Croft. The two inside linebackers for the Snowbirds really bring the lumber. They do a really good job of reading their cues, watching those guards pulling, and it's very hard to fool those very experienced linebackers for the Snowbirds. So for the Panthers, I would imagine that they'll be trying to use some quick misdirection, some screens, in order to try and use the Snowbirds' aggression against them defensively. Offensively for the Snowbirds, as we talked about, they want this to be 4 yards and a cloud of dust. Being able to continuously pound the rock, they have multiple ball carriers that can do so. So that's something that the Panthers will have to key on. A key success point for the Panthers would be stopping the inside trap, ISO, and dive.
Well, for them linebackers, like you're saying, just to me, hey, we got some pregame jitters. We got some first game jitters, right? It isn't just me that has those jitters. So the linebackers, they have a tough task. Reading your keys, reading everything, making sure your jitters are in check. You know, running game is actually going to be effective, especially in this one.
That's right. We're going to go ahead and bring in our third member of tonight's broadcast crew, Tyler Bowerman, our executive producer, but also our football analyst. Tyler, as we welcome you in, first of all, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I mean, we pretty much said it all. We're pretty juiced, got a little jitters here. We're excited for the first game of the season. We know a lot of people tuning in, waiting to see this one. It's a much anticipated matchup. But let me ask you this. We were talking about the strategic plans for the Snowbirds and the Panthers, really focusing on emphasis of putting the ball on the ground and controlling time of possession. You played offensive line, so you know how important it is to physically be able to wear down an opponent.
I mean, especially in O'Connell's system, he wants to run the ball. He wants to physically impale. Like, he wants to dominate from the start to the beginning to the end. I mean, it's the entire game. He wants to be able to drain you out of energy until the fourth quarter when you can just run it down the 90 yards for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. That's something that he preaches. It's been in his program since 2013 when he first took over as the Snowbirds' lead man behind the wheel of this program. So with that, we're going to go ahead and step aside, hear from a few more of our sponsors. This is the Cherry Capital pregame show on Next Level Broadcasting. We'll be back right after these messages.
Vision Source and Gaylord Eye Care are proud to be offering their services to local communities across northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Boyne City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
I'm Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
We all know that Jimmy John's is everyone's go-to option for freaky fast subs. But did you know that they're unveiling new menu options? That's right, Jimmy John's new menu has something for everyone and is a great way to feed the whole family. So, whether you're watching the big game, hard at work, or taking the family out to eat, Jimmy John's wants to make finding a gourmet sandwich easy. The crew of Next Level Broadcasting trusts their pregame meals to Jimmy John's, and you should too, at Jimmy John's in Gaylord. We all know northern Michigan winters take a toll on our parking lots and driveways, but Gaylord Seal Coating has you covered. A proud sponsor of local high school athletics, Gaylord Seal Coating specializes in infrared seamless asphalt repair, hot pour crack filling, striping, and more. Need a new snowplow solution this winter? GSC can do that too. Commercial, residential, private roadways, and associations, Gaylord Seal Coating is your answer. Give them a call today at 989-732-5003. Are you interested in building a new home or renovating an existing one? With over 100 years of combined experience, J&J Construction is one of the most reliable and respected general contractors in our service area. J&J is a trusted construction partner valued by architects, subcontractors, financiers, and most of all, their clients. J&J Construction has been completing quality homes and improvement projects that add value to the communities they serve. They bring a passion for innovation and a commitment to quality to every job they do. Call them today.
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
And welcome back in to the Fly Cherry Capital TVC Airport on the Next Level Broadcasting pregame show here. Back in the booth with Charles Strail, Tyler Bowerman, Christian S., fresh out of Central Michigan Broadcasting School, joining us tonight. Johnny Burkhart running our sideline camera, and we're live in Pickford, Michigan, just under 8 minutes until first kick here in Pickford between the Snowbirds and the Panthers. Once again, we want to thank our pregame sponsor, the Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport. Traverse City Cherry Capital is your gateway to Northern Michigan. Now is your time to fly TVC. TVC Airport will also get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. For all of your booking and arrivals, visit TraverseCityTVCAirport.com. Christian, we're about 7 minutes away from first kick here. As the referees and coaches are meeting at midfield, one of the things that we alluded to earlier in the pregame show was the matchup between the offensive line, defensive line, the battle to wear each other out. Who do you think has the advantage here early on?
Honestly, I want to say the offensive line, right? You know, they know which way they're going to go. Defense, I mean, you're going to really just bull rush right up the middle, and you're going to hope that you can get to your, to your assignments,
right,
to your holes, fill your holes, clear the gaps, stuff the tackle. I'm really thinking the offensive line, they should always have the advantage.
Right, and that's something that in 8-man football is a difficult thing to try and gauge, because the defensive line oftentimes kind of drops into coverage on predictable passing downs, or they'll drop a defensive end into coverage rush 2, bring a couple players on some delayed blitzes, and that presents challenges to the offensive line in terms of how to pick up those different delayed blitzes and things like that. One thing that Gaylord St. Mary wants to do under their defensive presence and coordination of head coach Kevin O'Connell is they want to bring the heat, and they have the athletes on the back end to cover in space and to cover man coverage. So I would look for St. Mary to really, really pressure the quarterback early and send 5 to 6 rushers to get to the quarterback to get into the backfield as well. So we're about, 5 minutes, 30 seconds from kickoff here, and we want to thank some more of our sponsors. We want to thank our friends at Schultz's Marathon Party Store. Listen, Snowbird fans, we know that the Ski Valley away games, most of the time we're traveling north on I-75. Stop in for your refreshments, gasoline, and all of your favorite snacks at the Schultz Marathon Party Store in Wolverine. Get the snacks, the beef jerky, and all the other essentials for those snowbird road trips. And Schultz's Marathon Party Store, stopping in there, fueling up, getting your snacks, always leads to a snowbird victory. Knock on wood. We also want to thank our friends at Professional Seamless Gutters. Listen, your home gutters are always there when you need them to be, and so is our good friend and St. Mary alumni Orion Beningo. That's why he started Professional Seamless Gutters. They offer fast and experienced service and real-time quotes. But wait, there's more. They'll actually answer your phone call. That's right, I said it. He'll answer your phone call. That's Professional Seamless Gutters at 989-619-3407. And tell him the crew of Next Level Broadcasting sent you his way to get your gutters. All right, Christian. We see both teams out here stretching out. They just honored the 74th anniversary of the graduating class from Pickford. So this graduated 70, the golden anniversary, 75 years, I should say. The golden anniversary for Pickford championship football team out here.
And that's their first graduation class right there. Right?
Okay. Yeah, the first graduation class that was playing football.
Yeah, and they have the one alumni out there. They're celebrating him. They're honoring him, presented him with a plaque, and I saw they gave him a jersey. I kind of, I'm anticipating that's going to fire up the Pickford.
I would imagine that'll juice you up as a player. You see somebody out there that was in your inaugural football championship team. The team that they had the first year won the championship game for the division that they were playing in at that point in time.
He looks ready to go.
He does. I think he's going to toss the coin as well.
No, I meant suit up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's doing well. So let's bring back in our third member of our broadcast crew, Tyler Bowerman, once again here. Let's talk about what you're looking for in the first 2 series, Tyler. between the offense and defensive matchup between Snowbirds and Panthers.
Yeah, if you remember last year, we played Pickford to start the year, and last year it was pouring rain. It was sideways rain the entire game, and St. Mary's and Pickford both had trouble running the football. But let's see how, you expect St. Mary's to open the game with start running the football and seeing how much they can get and what they're given. But on the Pickford side, I haven't seen much of them play since. I haven't seen them play since
Last year.
Yeah, it was last year, but I've always told they lost quite a few players this past offseason.
So oftentimes when you lose that many players due to roster overturn, it's difficult to try and scheme an approach and guess what they're going to be able to do or what the challenges that they're going to present you with. The St. Mary defense facing that Pickford offense, and you kind of have to feel each other out in that first, I'd say, 4 minutes of game time. That first 4 minutes of game time is when you just kind of, a boxing analogy, you stand in the ring and you throw a couple of jabs and see how that opponent reacts to the different stimulus and stimuli you're throwing at them. So I would imagine that there's a couple of calls on head coach Kevin O'Connell's play sheet or call sheet where he just wants to see the type of formation, alignment, assignment, and execution that Pickford will have defensively.
It looks like St. Mary's won the toss and deferred until the second half.
Yep, and that is a staple decision for Kevin O'Connell in his 10-year football head coaching regime at Gaylord St. Mary.
I think my senior year we didn't lose a single coin toss. I think we were 12-0 on coin tosses.
Well, that's because you were probably given the official your allowance, and he was tossing your coin. And with that coin toss won by St. Mary, they defer to the second half. We're going to go ahead and give ourselves a little chance to catch our breath, and we'll come back after this.
This is Charles, founder of Next Level Broadcasting. Interested in advertising on our channel? Get a hold of us. And next week, this commercial could be yours. Vision Source and Gaylord Eye Care are proud to be offering their services to local communities across northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Point City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
Welcome back. We're live in Pickford, Michigan, under 20 seconds before the national anthem, and the first game of the season will be underway. Once again, want to thank our pregame sponsor, the Cherry Capital Traverse City TVC Airport, for being our pregame show sponsor for today's broadcast on Next Level Broadcasting. If you're just tuning in now on YouTube, or if you found the link on Facebook, or if you are visiting the site via website, we welcome you to the inaugural first game of the season. 2023 is just moments away from kicking off. We're going to send this to the public address announcer for the national anthem, and we will have the starting lineups right after that.
Placing your hand over your heart as we proudly sing our national anthem.
All right, so with that, the national anthem, we're about ready to get our starting lineups. And without further ado, our pregame show duties are over, and I'm going to send it over to our play-by-play for tonight's game, Christian Sinchicki. Christian.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, man, ready for it?
Oh, we're ready. We're getting ready. We're having, all the pregame jitters are about ready to be finally quenched, right?
That's right.
And
Daniel Jacobson, and Gabe Quick. And now, for your Pickford Panthers. At quarterback, number 3, Braylon Brown. At fullback, number 8, Tommy Story. At tight end, at tailback, number 20, Gunnar Bennett. At tight end, number 26.
All right, so as Pickford starting lineup is just about, halfway there. We, with the Panthers receiving the opening kickoff, it'll be St. Mary kicking it deep. I was talking with head coach Kevin O'Connell earlier this week, and I would bet a large portion of my game check today that this opening kickoff for the Snowbirds is going to be a squib kick. I know that Tyler can definitely confirm that. Tyler, squib kick on the opening possession, yes or no?
Yes, always.
Always a squib kick. That is a staple for Kevin O'Connell and his St. Mary Snowbirds. Kevin O'Connell going in his 10th year as the Snowbirds head coach. Actually, it was my senior year that he took over as the Snowbird man in charge.
what was your record in your senior year?
Our senior year, we went 4-5 after having 2 consecutive seasons of not winning a game.
All right. Hey.
So we did have a pretty good turnaround, worked hard, and in 10 years, this program is back on the map.
Well, I mean, you have 2 consecutive seasons of 0-win seasons.
Yeah.
Any win at that point is gonna really make for the improvements all that much sweeter.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Lining up for the Snowbirds to send this one away is Daniel Jacobson. He hands it off to the line judge, puts it down on the tee. Snowbirds get their alignment. Jacobson puts it down back deep for the Panthers is number 22, Quentin Tobia. Excuse me, that's number 20. I apologize. And a squib kick right away. Onside kick has been recovered by the Panthers.
It was a combination of the squib and an onside. If it took a couple of extra bounces, you could have easily recovered it.
Yep, that was Hayden Hagan, the Panther, who recovered that. So the Panthers come out in a tight formation, 1 receiver into the near side of the field. The shotgun snap, the ball's on the ground, and it is recovered by Brett Krishoniak for the Snowbirds. On the first play of the game, recovered by Krishoniak, and the Snowbirds get a quick turnover. And for the most part, that was an unforced error by the Panthers. Able to be the first man on the ball was Brett Krishoniak. He pounced on it with cat-like reflexes. He was down there. So we'll see the first look for the St. Mary starting offense here. They go in the shotgun, Jacobson being flanked by Croft and Metelski. He'll take the shotgun snap, handoff to Metelski. He picks his way up to the Panther 40-yard line. A pickup of about 7 yards on 1st and 10.
You mentioned Brett in the pregame was going to be one of those electric players to watch out for.
Yeah, and he obviously made that impact play right away. Tackle was made by Eli McDonald for the Panthers. Bring up 2nd and 4 for the Snowbirds. High snap. Jacobson has to keep it. He'll move it around the right side for a marginal gain, give him about 2 feet. And it'll bring up 3rd and 3. Combination tackle was made on that Pickford left side of the defensive line. It was Eli McDonald and Dakota Beamish on the stop. Jacobson in the shotgun again. He gets the handoff. Up it goes to Croft. He is dropped in the backfield for a loss. Quick penetration by Eli McDonald, and it'll be 4th and 3 for the Snowbirds. So after a good pickup on first down, the Snowbirds have been stymied here on 2nd and 3rd, and it'll bring up 4th and 4 from the Panther 40-yard line.
Those 2 consecutive rushes to the right side.
Yep, that's the Snowbirds' strong side of the offensive line. They go under center here. Split back between Metalski and Croft. Looks like attempting with the hard count. Metalski gets up the middle, and they're moving the pile. It's going to depend on the spot.
I think that's Kashoniak.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right, Tyler. It was Brett Kashoniak who took the handoff. It was a dive right up the middle, and will be good enough for a Snowbird first down. So
that second burst of energy right on that pile that ended up giving them the first down.
Yeah. And Jacobson's back in the shotgun. High snap. Croft gets it off the right side of that offensive line again. Nice play made by a host of Panthers. First man in there was Tommy Story coming up from his cornerback stop. Eli McDonald was also in on the tackle for the Panthers.
Forward progress is going to give him about 2 yards.
Yeah. So as I said earlier, we're going to see a ground and pound game here between Panthers and Snowbirds, and we have yet to see the ball go in the air. And there's a turnaround handoff to Brett Kashoniak, and he puts his shoulder pads down for a gain of 5 yards. Tackle made by Braylon Rounds for the Panthers. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Snowbirds, working right around the Panther 32-yard line.
Running off the left side, try and get their attention away from that right, then you can start pounding back to the right again.
That's right, that's right. Jacobson in the shotgun position, flanked by Croft, and Kashoniak, he'll turn, fake, pivot, keep it himself. He'll work around the right side of that Snowbird offensive line, and it looks like forward progress is going to give him about, let's say, 2 yards on the pickup. Tackle made by Ian Brown and Eli McDonald. That's already the 4th tackle of the evening for Eli McDonald. He's having himself a pretty good game on defense, wouldn't you say, Christian?
I would say, yeah. Yes, he is. In the pregame, we mentioned the offensive line is probably one of the biggest keys, but defensive line, they can still make their plays.
That's right. Snowbirds go under center. Jacobson takes it, hands it to Brett Kashoniak. He'll plunge his way into the Pickford defense for a Snowbird first down. They're going to give him forward progress to the 25-yard line. So Kashoniak moves the chains once again for the Snowbirds. And the clock is ticking. We're already at the 8:15 mark in the first quarter here in Pickford. Did you see who was on the stop there, Christian, for the Panthers?
I ended up not seeing that.
Sure. I mean, it was a gang tackling. Under center again. Jacobson takes the snap. Direct handoff to Brett Kashoniak, but it looked like the left side of that Snowbird offensive line moved. Tyler, did you see who the guilty party was?
I didn't see who it was, but it was a false start.
Yep. So that'll push the Snowbirds back 5 yards. Christian, it'll be interesting to see here how this Snowbird offense reacts being behind the chains a little bit.
I was going to say, for the most part of this drive, it's a balanced offense in terms of left and right.
Right, left and right, and 3 to 4 yards a carry, just kind of grinding it out. But now they're behind the chains a little bit with a 1st and 15 as they come out in a spread formation. Look, Metalski to the top of the screen, Grenier to the bottom. Actually, that's Robbie Amstermuck. And Jacobson's going to keep it around the corner. He's got a lane. He's got room. Shakes a defender. Breaks one tackle and is eventually brought down at the Panther 8-yard line.
I was actually going to make a comment that with that wide of a formation, you can make something called, you can make a spread option out of it. Maybe you can option into a wide receiver coming around.
Tommy Story on the tackle for the Panthers, but that'll set up a 1st and goal for the Snowbirds. They've got it down to the 7-yard line. Going to drop it down to our professional seamless gutters sideline camera here as the Snowbirds go in the shotgun handoff right up the middle to Dylan Croft. he meets a gang tackling effort by the Pickford Panthers. First man in there for Pickford was Hayden Rader and Eli McDonald for the Panthers. So Snowbirds pick up about a yard on 1st and goal.
8-on-8 football, but they're still finding ways to get all those bodies around the ball when it's snapped.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can hear the pads pop from all the way up in the press box. Snowbirds go shotgun look with Metaliska to the top, and the ball is fumbled in the backfield, mishandled by Jacobson. It looked like that was going to be a passing play, maybe a fade route to Metaliski on the into the boundary, but with the mishandling of the ball in the backfield, that's going to back the Snowbirds up right around to the 14-yard line. So an immense 3rd and goal here upcoming for the Snowbirds.
You know, in the ground, even though it looks dry, it does still have a little bit of moisture in the soil there.
Yes. Handoff up the middle of Dylan Croft. He's got a lane, breaks one tackle, gets all the way back to right about the 2-yard line. So that's going to bring up 4th and goal. Croft picking up 13 hard-earned yards on 3rd and goal. And
You know, on 4th down, we've seen Kashoniak twice now. So
That's right.
They go right back to Kashoniak up the middle. He's like a bowling ball. It's hard to tackle.
oh, yeah, for sure. Good insight there, Tyler. It's the ball rests on the 2.5-yard line as the Snowbirds set up. Croft flanking Jacobson. Shotgun snap to Croft, and Jacobson keeps it, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. Big time play made by Hayden Rader, and the Panthers make a stand. So big time play by Hayden Rader, and the Panthers forces a turnover on downs by the Snowbirds, and that right there was a momentous play and a momentum swinging play. First one that we've seen made defensively where somebody got tackled in the backfield. It'll be the Panthers taking over from their own 4-yard line. And on the hard count, it looked like one of the Snowbirds encroached into the line of scrimmage. I believe it was, I believe that was Jake Butler.
I did want to say back on that 4th and goal. That's the time you need a defensive stop right there.
Right.
4th and goal, they're about to score. Hey, your defense steps in, puts your offense back out in the field, give them a chance. Maybe fix that first play turnover.
Right. It definitely, bailed out the offense there for turning it over with a fumble on the first series. Pickford's going to turn around, hand it off on the carry, but no gain. It was Gunnar Bennon, and he was tackled by Brett Kashoniak.
Kashoniak's all over the field.
That's right, 1 fumble recovery, 1 tackle. We've only seen 2 defensive plays so far on defense for the Snowbirds, but that was one that they, needed to have after getting stopped on 4th and goal.
Well, you stop him here for some bad field position.
Inside give, and that tackle was made by Lucas Sherwinski for the Snowbirds. Ball carrier was Cale McKay. Actually, Tommy Story.
Maybe a gain of 4 if you want to give him that.
Yeah, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Panthers. This first quarter is already almost down to the 4-minute mark as we've seen a ground and pound approach by both teams. Panthers go under center once again. They fake the pitch, boot left. Jake Butler's out there in pursuit, and they slip it to the fullback. Completed, that's Ian Brown. He's got a big gain all the way out to the Panther 36-yard line.
It was a well-designed play and some good improv.
Yeah, it was a nice play made by Ian Brown after he got the pass. Also, you got to give credit where credit is due.
I was concerned when I saw that there was no one out wide. They were in a full set formation, and they ended up getting a pass for first down and then some. That was our first pass of the game.
It was. This time Pickford goes in an empty look in the shotgun. And they're going to hand this around the left side of that line. That's Gunnar Brennan on the carry. Tackle made by Dylan Croft for the Snowbirds. Oh, excuse me, Jake Butler on the stop for the Snowbirds. So, as we talked about in the pregame show, Pickford with a more explosive offensive game plan. We've seen it a couple times on that boot sprint out left. St. Mary, can their defense match what Pickford was able to do on the previous possession? They're going to keep this one. Coming around the right side is Tommy Story. He's got a good gain. First down, he's out to the Snowbird 45-yard line with a Panther first down. Nice play call by the Panthers.
Catching them on their heels. You're catching them side to side. You know, you have some good execution, it's not so much of a trick play as much as it's just well executed.
It certainly was well executed. They did a good job of selling that play. Linemen got out there, made their blocks. So rounds in the empty formation. Actually, that's Story who takes the direct snap around the left side. Big time hit on the left side of the field, but Story was able to bounce off and pick up a solid gain of about 8 yards.
That second effort, he bounced off of one tackler into an extra 2 yards. Those 2 yards, that's gonna make a difference too.
Two simple words: wrap up.
Yeah.
If he wraps up right there, that's a tackle out of bounds at the 40, and it's instead of 4 extra yards.
Yeah, got to give credit to Story though, running through contact and keeping those legs going, being able to get through the initial contact and keep motoring for additional yardage. And that's going to be a shift on the left side of the line. Pickford sending a man in motion. Direct snap to Story again. And he'll fall forward for a Panther first down.
Got a big body playing at quarterback and being running back quarterback almost.
Right. They've kind of switched some things up recently. They started with Braylon Rounds under center, and since then they've gone to Tommy Story in an empty set, running the quarterback draw or the quarterback ISO right up the middle.
I believe his older brother was a quarterback.
He was.
He
was something else. He was a great player. Story in the empty formation again. He'll take this to the left side and get absolutely smothered. Making the play was big number 71 for the Snowbirds, and that is Cabe Quick. Cabe got off his block and was waiting right there for Story. And a very nice play defensively by Quick and the Snowbirds on first down.
A couple of quick quarterback runs. I mean, the defense might be starting to catch up. What do you do next if you're on the offense?
Well, I would imagine that they put a check mark in the play sheet when that boot out left, and they brought the tight end around and slipped him through. Story in the empty formation again. One man in motion. Story slips a tackle. He's in open space, breaks another tackle, and eventually able to drag him down by his shoelaces was Daniel Jacobson. Story picks up about 7 yards on 2nd and 10.
Story is your workhorse in this opening, well, not so much opening drive, second drive.
That's right.
They didn't have much of an opening drive.
And we've got a timeout by Pickford, and we're going to go ahead and thank our sponsor, Golf Gaylord.
Are you interested in building a new home or renovating an existing one? With over 100 years of combined experience, J&J Construction is one of the most reliable and respected general contractors in our service area. J&J is a trusted construction partner valued by architects, subcontractors, financiers, and most of all, their clients. J&J Construction has been completing quality homes and improvement projects that add value to
And we're back after the timeout. Correction, that was a timeout by the St. Mary's Snowbirds. 23.7 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Story in the empty formation once again. He'll take the direct snap and plunge ahead forward on the right side of that offensive line for a marginal gain. It'll bring up 4th and 2. Actually, no gain on the play.
We're going to end up going to the end of the quarter after that play.
That is going to bring us to the end of the quarter. And at the end of the quarter, we're going to thank our friends at Golf Gaylord. Listen, Gaylord in the 989 is considered by most to be golf mecca. And whether you're looking for a new set of clubs or in need of fixing that slice, Golf Gaylord is your destination where you can browse a wide variety of items and get lessons from their experienced staff. Golf Gaylord, that brings us to the end of the first quarter here on Next Level Broadcasting. Panthers and Snowbirds knotted up at 0 after 12 minutes of play. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
We all know that Jimmy John's is everyone's go-to option for freaky fast subs. But did you know that they're unveiling new menu options? That's right, Jimmy John's new menu has something for everyone and is a great way to feed the whole family. So, whether you're watching the big game, hard at work, or taking the family out to eat, Jimmy John's wants to make finding a gourmet sandwich easy. The crew of Next Level Broadcasting trusts their pregame meals to Jimmy John's, and you should too, at Jimmy John's in Gaylord.
And welcome back in. Second quarter about to begin between Snowbirds and Panthers here on Next Level Broadcasting. Second quarter today brought to you by J&J Construction. J&J Construction, hey, listen, many times we don't know where to go when beginning the process or building or remodeling our home. We're going to get to the rest of this right after Pickford snaps it on 4th and 3.
Charles, what did you like from that first quarter?
Well, I really liked the intensity both teams showed at the line of scrimmage. Pickford comes out in an empty set again. Story alone by himself, and they get the Snowbirds to jump, and a free 5 yards awarded to the Panthers. So the Panthers will draw the Snowbirds off sides, and it will be a free 5 yards for the Panthers, and that'll move the chains. So Panthers didn't have to execute there. They were just able to draw the Snowbirds off sides, execute, and get the first down. So good job by the Panthers of being disciplined and being able to execute their offensive game plan to perfection. Pickford comes out with one receiver into the boundary. That's Braylon Rounds. Story in the empty formation, flanked by Gunnar Brennan to his right. He'll take the direct snap up the middle, breaks one tackle, absolutely mauls through a Snowbird, and he's down at the 1 yard line. Story and the Panthers knocking on the doorstep of the Snowbirds. Panthers trying to draw first blood in this ground and pound affair between Snowbirds and Panthers. Man, that was a hard run.
That is that old-fashioned right up the middle,
right.
Run your man over.
Story in the empty set once again, and he's in for a Panther touchdown. So Tommy Story punches it in for a Panther touchdown against that vaunted Snowbird defense, and the Panthers draw first blood, go up 6-0 over the St. Mary's Snowbirds. Touchdown on the board at 11:17 in the second quarter. So it took us 12 minutes to get points on the board, but Story punches it in for 6 for the Panthers. And we'll see if they opt to go for 2 here. I would imagine that they will after their success on the ground so far on this possession.
Got 2 wide out left.
2 wide to the bottom of the screen. Story in the empty set. He'll take the direct snap, and he'll waltz in for the 2-point conversion. So Tommy Story in for the 2-point conversion. Panthers go up 8-0. We're going to go ahead and thank our friends once again at J&J Construction. As I said earlier, many times we don't know where to go when beginning the process of building or remodeling our home, but that's where the pros at J&J come in. They help you in every step of the way, get you into your dream home faster than anyone else. Trusted by everyone, respected by all. That's J&J Construction, proud supporter of Gaylord St. Mary Athletics. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this. This is high school football on Next Level Broadcast.
Are you interested in building a new home or renovating an existing one? With over 100 years of combined experience, J&J Construction is one of the most reliable and respected general contractors in our service area. J&J is a trusted construction partner valued by architects, subcontractors, financiers, and most of all, their clients. J&J Construction has been completing quality homes and improvement projects that add value to the communities they serve. They bring a passion for innovation and a commitment to quality to every job they do. Call them today.
And we're back in. Panthers getting ready to kick this one off. Back deep for the Snowbirds is Rylan Metalski.
Charles, that drive, that last drive, absolutely a great drive by Story.
I mean, he was definitely the MVP. Got to give credit to that Panther offensive line, too. Metalski fields this one at the 25-yard line, breaks a tackle. He's got speed up the sideline for the Snowbirds and pushed out of bounds at the Snowbird 47-yard line. So he picked up 22 yards on the return. Snowbirds will set up shop at their own 47 here. St. Mary did have some good effective running plays on that first possession. You know, they were constantly getting 4, 3, 6 yards a carry. We talked about that in the pregame show. That's what they aim to do. This is a very important possession for the Snowbirds because the way that their offense is set up, they're not really built to come back from a multiple, 10, 15, 16-point deficit. So this is a big possession for the Snowbirds.
Well, like you were saying, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, right?
That's right.
That's not going to have you come back all the time.
Snowbirds hand this one off to Rylan Metalski around the left side of the offensive line, and he's stopped in there by a host of Panthers once again. First contact was made by 60 Eli McDowell.
I did want to say, though, that Pickford, when they were running the ball, they looked effective running the ball. They were getting some gouges, some big games, like you were saying in the pregame show. Explosive offense. Let's see if St. Mary's can continue it.
Yeah, let's see if they can do that here on 2nd and 8. Jacobson in the shotgun. He'll hand off around the left side again to Metalski, and he's met there again. First man in on the tackle for the Panthers was Eli McDonald. He got in there in the backfield to cause some havoc and bring down Metalski for no gain on the play.
I mean, just maybe see if they can answer back. They can get a big run of themselves. You're right back in, and then you look like the explosive offense if you're St. Mary's.
That's right. That's right. So it'll be 3rd and 9, actually a loss of 1 on the play. Jacobson sends Metalski down to the bottom of the screen. Croft in the backfield. Jacobson takes the snap, hands to Croft up the middle. Dylan Croft plows ahead for a gain of 4 yards across midfield to the Panther 49-yard line. It'll be 4th and 6.
That play looked like that was setting up for 4th down. You don't really run right up the middle on 3rd down, 3rd and long, if
right.
You're not setting up for something on 4th down, right?
He never punts.
Right.
Punting is
foreign for Kevin O'Connell and the Snowbirds. As Jacobson hands to Croft, and he's met by the Panthers right in the middle. Nice play made by Ian Brown for the Panthers, and that stops the Snowbirds on 4th down. It'll be a loss, or actually, a turnover on downs, and the Panthers have it at their own 48-yard line. 1st and 10.
That's going to put pressure on the defense because now you have to stop this offense that didn't look very stoppable.
Right. Yeah, the empty set formation with Tommy Story back there with his speed and elusiveness proved hard and difficult for the Snowbirds to stop on that last possession. They'll hand off with an inside give, a little trap play, and that was Gunnar Brennan who got the ball, tackled by Chris Krishoniak for the Snowbirds.
Now, Tyler, I wanted to ask you, what kind of intensity have you been seeing from Pickford?
Well, I think he's got a lot of experience. 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 He's got a lot of experience
Defense?
Offense.
Offense. Oh, it's put your face in the hand in dirt, and you've been right in everyone's face, and you're just
able to execute. I've been impressed with them executing their blocking scheme, Tyler. As Story in the empty set once again, Snowbirds with the defensive line shift before the snap. Story takes it up the middle. He'll push the pile. He's chugging those legs, but first contact made by Dylan Croft, and the stop was made there. They'll bring up 3rd and 8 for the Panthers right at midfield.
St. Mary's offense needs to see that kind of defense, that kind of play from the defensive line.
Right, and speaking of needing to see it, did you see that? Well, if your eyes didn't, that's playing a trick on you, and our friends at the Gaylord Eye Care Center are here to help you. And we're going to finish off thanking our sponsor right after this 3rd and 8. Story in the empty set once again. Hard count, takes it, drops back to pass, throws it up the middle, pop pass, tight end seam. They got it complete all the way down, rumbling, stumbling, and into the end zone for a Pickford touchdown is Owen McConkey on the tight end Y seam. Story to McConkey for 6. And the Panthers are on the board again. That's 14-0, 14 unanswered points. And the Panthers strike on 3rd and 8. 50-yard touchdown pass, Story to McConkey.
The play calling on that was absolutely right where you needed to be.
Brilliant.
The play fake to the pass, play action. When you have like 13 straight runs in a row.
Story's going to take this one and get in for the 2-point conversion. Well, I'd like to say, did you see that? And if you didn't see that, you need to check out our friends at the Gaylord Eye Care Center. With 4 locations in Gaylord, Boyne City, Sheboygan, and Bel Air, there's no excuse to not seeing all the action this fall on Next Level Broadcasting. You need to get back in the game with the Gaylord Eye Care Center. Stop in for a free consultation at one of their 4 locations. Well, we saw a long drive for the Panthers that resulted in their first touchdown. We saw a huge play there, a 50-yard pass from Story to McConkey set up their second touchdown. I think it's definitely gut check time for the St. Mary's Snowbirds here, down 16-0. They had this on the goal line with an opportunity to punch it in for the first points of the game, and the wheels fell off the wagon there.
Well, you can tell they're hitting themselves now. You're down 16-0, and you're like you were just saying on their last drive. They do not have the offense capable to come back. I mean, for the spirit of the game, you want them to, of course.
Right, but can they do it? We'll find out. With 7:51 remaining in the second quarter, Pickford ready to kick it away. Squib kick up the middle. That'll be fielded at the 35-yard line, breaking a couple tackles, but eventually tackled at the 35-yard line was Daniel Jacobson for the Snowbirds.
He was looking for that hole to come back right up the middle, but not like the last kickoff return where he returned it to the 47. They couldn't quite find that same magic.
Right. So St. Mary sets up shop at their own 36-yard line, and ball rests just beyond the 35.
You think they're going to continue their same game plan?
I would imagine so. I mean, now that Pickford has a 16-point lead, let's see if that defense spreads out a little bit, plays a little bit more conservatively, and St. Mary is able to start executing some run plays up the middle. They send Metowski in motion. He'll get the handoff. Left side he goes, and he pushes it out to just short of the 40-yard line. Tackle made there by Braylon Rounds for the Panthers.
I want to note that was a different run play than.
Yep, they ran the jet sweep for Metowski, went with the empty formation, brought him around the left side for a nice pickup of 4 yards on first down.
All you're trying to do there is just open up space for the middle.
Right.
I mean, it's just opening. You're trying to spread that defense out, make him get as wide as possible, and then be able to run it up the middle eventually.
Yep. Jacobson in the empty formation once again. He's going to keep, and the offensive line missed a couple blocks. And the Panthers did a good job of getting through those blocks. First contact was made by Hayden Rader.
Tyler, that is exactly what you had just said from the last play. Coming out, he said, jet sweep coming around. You're going to open up the middle, and then the next play right up the middle.
Yep, and ran the jet sweep, come back with the, counter up the middle. Pickford did a good job of sniffing that one out, though. Jacobson in the empty formation once again takes the snap. He'll throw this one over to Metowski. Excellent pursuit by the Panthers, and tackle for loss made by Eli McDonald. Good job of sniffing that one out by the Pickford defensive line. They got out in the flats real quick, and that's going to bring up 4th and 15 for the Snowbirds. I'd imagine that we see the punting unit here.
You are right. We're seeing the punt unit out there. First punt in the game.
That's right. Gunnar Brennan back deep to return for the Panthers. Jacobson 8 yards behind center as the Snowbirds set up punt formation. Low snap. Jacobson gets it away. It's a wobbling kick. Brennan fields at his own 35. Breaks one tackle. He's working up the sideline. He's got a seam. He's gone. Gunnar Brennan up the sideline for 6 for the Panthers. And they extend the lead to 22-0. The punt return for a touchdown. Brennan takes it to the house, 55 yards all the way for a Panther touchdown. Big time play made by the Panthers. Once again, another big play, another touchdown.
That low snap led to a quick kick, and that quick kick was what didn't have a whole lot of hang time, not enough for your cover unit to get down there.
That's right. The coverage unit was held up, and Brennan scooped it and scored it.
That did look like an old-fashioned scoop and score. He just picked it right off the dirt and ran.
Yeah. So special teams, definitely the advantage going to Pickford here early on in this game. Still a lot of game left to be played, though. There's 5 minutes, 35 seconds in the second quarter remaining. Braylon Rounds back under center for the Panthers.
In the I formation.
Yep, he's going to turn, fake the handoff. Rolling out to the flats is Tommy's Story. It's complete, and the two-point conversion is good. So Braylon Rounds finds his partner in crime, Tommy's Story, and the Panthers go up 24-0. Nice job of executing there offensively by the Panthers after the 55-yard punt return touchdown set them up for that two-point conversion attempt. While we have some time, we want to thank our friends at Gaylord Jimmy John's. Listen, away games call for freaky fast meals on the road, and that's where Jimmy John's comes in to turn travel time into dinner time with their freaky fast gourmet sandwiches in their brand new location in Gaylord across from Hobby Lobby. Jimmy John's, freaky fast and freaky strong, so fast a tornado couldn't move them or turn them away from getting back in business in Gaylord. That's Jimmy John's, proud sponsor of Gaylord St. Mary High School football on Next Level Broadcasting.
We need to see some more intensity out of St. Mary's offense here in this next drive.
I agree. This is definitely a gut check time for St. Mary offensively to be able to put a drive together. I think they really just need to get the last 20 minutes of real life time and compartmentalize that, be able to see some success as Metowski takes this one at his own 25, gets out to the left side. Nice tackle made by Tommy Story in the open field to bring down Metowski. So St. Mary will set up shop at the 30-yard line.
Caught his ankle, and he couldn't end up getting recovering his step in that wet soil.
That's correct. There is a lot of dew down on the field. The cloud cover is very low today, so that dew point is getting down on the turf and making the playing surface pretty slick.
It does look like it was, early on our drive up here, it looked like it was going to rain, but we didn't end up seeing very much of it, if any at all.
St. Mary comes out looking to get the right play call, and they have to burn a timeout. So as St. Mary takes the timeout, we're going to head and thank our friends at the Gaylord Eye Care Center. We'll be back on Next Level Broadcasting's coverage of high school football right after this.
Vision Source and Gaylord Eye Care are proud to be offering their services to local communities across northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Point City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
Yeah, sometimes this tripod ends up getting a little.
And we're back in on Next Level Broadcasting. As we were just saying, Snowbirds looking to get things going here. It's 24-0. Pickford has had the edge ever since keeping the Snowbirds out of the end zone on their opening possession. If you're just now joining us, Charles Strail, joined by Tyler Bowerman, Christian Sinchicki, and Johnny Burkhart up in Pickford, Michigan. Snowbirds with their 1st and 10 from their own 30. Jacobson takes the snap, hands to Dylan Croft on the right side of the offensive line. Number 42, Ian Brown for the Panthers, makes the stop.
Pickford's offense has looked completely different ever since that first that opening drive, hasn't it?
Well, I'd say the offense for Pickford has fueled their defense. You know, on that first possession, St. Mary was able to get their running game going. We saw 5, 6, 7 yards, and it seemed like the offense for Pickford has energized their defense. Metalski splits out to the top of the screen. Jacobson flanked by Croft. He'll take the handoff. Croft up the left side of the offensive line, slips one tackle, but not able to get past the big arms of Hayden Rader.
Just up the left side. Maybe, you know, we'll see them keep pounding. That was a good little gain off of that inside run. That's something they haven't had a whole lot of. Maybe we can continue to see them, you know, expand on that.
Yeah, so 3rd and 5 for the Snowbirds on their own 35-yard line. Jacobson with Croft to his left. He will fake the give, keep it himself. Up the middle he goes. He's going to be brought down just at the first down marker.
That's going to be wherever they spot it, but it looked to me like it was good.
Going to depend on the spot. Tyler, what are you thinking there?
That first ref came in and gave him a first down right away.
Yep, and that where that spot is going to be.
They are going to give it to him.
So the chains move, clock stops, 3:59 left in the second quarter. Jacobson takes the shotgun snap, hands to Croft, nice block up the right side, but Pickford is there swarming. Nice play made by Gunnar Brennan.
Yes, as you can hear the PA announcer again, he's been on a couple of big plays right at the line of scrimmage too. They're not getting far with him around.
These are fast-flowing linebackers for the Pickford Panthers, and they are definitely, you know, proven their worth right now. Want to thank our friends Gaylord Seal Coating. Listen, if you've grown up in Michigan, you've grown up with cracked roads, parking lot pavements that you can't trust, and potholes the size of some of these offensive linemen. If your driveway, parking lot, or other service needs an overhaul, check out the pros at Gaylord Seal Coating, and Gaylord Seal Coating has got you covered.
We have a timeout here.
Yep, got a timeout taken by the Snowbirds. I believe that's their final timeout of the half. So as the Snowbirds and the Panthers break their huddles, I would imagine, well, here's the thing. There's 3 minutes, 43 seconds left in the second quarter. St. Mary deferred to the third quarter, so they will get the ball beginning in the third quarter. So if they're able to score here, they'll have that ball coming out to start the third quarter. So a momentous possession, to say the least.
Just as I was about to say, momentum is big here. You want to score, carry that momentum into the half, and come back out and hopefully score again if you're St. Mary's.
That's right. Jacobson takes the empty shotgun snap. He's going to throw to Croft. Croft was, it looked like, tangled up a little bit with the interior linebacker for the Panthers, Braylon Rounds, and just wasn't able to shake free of that coverage there. Tyler.
You know, that would have worked too. They haven't been throwing the ball at all. They haven't tried it at all yet, and this is their first pass attempt, and it looked open. Just no time back there to throw.
No, the defense was in swarming him right away.
That's correct. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 8. Jacobson takes the snap, little shuttle screen over to Dylan Croft, and he's swarmed right away. This Pickford defense has been all over the field. That was Eli McDonald again, and it's going to make it 4th and 7 for the Snowbirds.
You know, that could open up your offense a lot more. Is if you ran a couple of little screen plays, quick screen plays, right? You know, get the defense off of, you know, pulling in so hot when you're trying to run the ball. I understand you got to get it out quick, but maybe something like that can open up your offense.
And St. Mary looks like they're going to send out the punting unit back deep to return once again for the Panthers is Gunnar Brennan. Jacobson takes the deep snap, punts away, more end-over-end kick here, and that's going to go out of bounds at the Panther 35-yard line.
You think that was planned for them to kick that out of bounds?
I would imagine so. Tyler, after giving up the 55-yard punt return on the last punt, do you think O'Connell, called that one to be kicked out of bounds?
It had to be kicked out of bounds. You don't want to see that happen twice. We've seen Frankfurt, I believe, did it to us in playoffs.
Yeah.
Back-to-back plays to start the game.
So with that, Pickford will set up shop at their 35-yard line, 1st and 10. 2 minutes, 54 seconds left to go in the second quarter.
Thinking a quarterback run here?
It's Story dropping back to pass, buying time, scrambling around. He's going to take off and run with it. Breaks one tackle of Brett Krishoniak, breaks two tackles of Grenier, and Story with a first down out to the 50-yard line right at midfield. Eventually brought down by Jacobson and the Snowbirds, but not before moving those chains, and another first down for Pickford. Ball rests right at the midfield line. Big possession for the Snowbird defense.
They're not afraid to run with your quarterback just out of the naked backfield.
Right. I mean, they're sending two receivers to the top of the screen. Empty formation is Story. He takes the snap up the middle. Nice play made by Brett Krishoniak. Gain of 3 yards.
It was a good solid tackle. Like Tyler said earlier, you want to make sure you wrap the body.
That's right. We're cruising along through the second quarter, under the 2-minute mark right now. And Pickford looking to huddle up and drain a little clock, as they're certainly taking their time here as their head coach and offensive coordinator just both turn to their right and glance at the scoreboard. 2nd and 7, 1:35 remaining in the second quarter. Empty set for Story once again. He'll take it, drop back to pass. Snowbird rushes, coming in on him. That pass is intercepted by Daniel Jacobson at the Snowbird 25. Jacobson across the 30 and all the way out to the 37-yard line. Nice job of dropping back into coverage by Jacobson with the interception of Story. Maybe that gives the Snowbirds the bolt of lightning that they need to get energized.
A bolt of lightning they're going to need, because you have 1 minute and 18 seconds to score before the half, and then you get the ball back. Maybe what we were talking about earlier could possibly happen.
Right. So if the Snowbirds are able to score here, they get the ball, start the third quarter. They could easily turn this 3-possession game into a 1-possession game with a couple of big plays. And that one right there, the interception, could be just the one that gets them going. Jacobson in the empty formation. He'll throw up the seam, and pass was incomplete. 2 Snowbird receivers in the area, Croft and Matowski. Tyler, you saw that play as well. Do they think that was intended for Croft or Matowski there?
Croft was on the sideline for that. I think that was intended for 44.
Okay, so that they were trying to hit the seam, and that was indeed.
That looked a little too vertical for Matowski.
Yeah. Yep, just trying to get up the seam. Don't have a number for 44, but we'll get that cleared up. Jacobson back, and he will take the shotgun snap, scramble out to his left. He's going to take this one all the way, lowers his shoulder at the 45-yard line, where he's eventually brought down by, let's see.
Important stoppage of clock, too. He got out of bounds, it looks
Yeah,
like.
that was Gunnar Brennan on the tackle.
You're going to want to save all the time you can. That way you got to, they got 55 yards still to their goal line that they need to get to.
All right, Snowbird setting up shop at the 40-yard line, 3rd and 4. Jacobson takes the shotgun snap, rolls left, pitch pass, and did they give him enough for the first down? No, they did not. Clock will continue to run. It'll be 4th and 1 for the Snowbirds at the 47-yard line. They've got to get up there, get a play called quickly.
You need something quick, and you need to get it out of bounds. That way you can stop that clock.
That's a big tackle made by the Panthers there. If the Snowbirds execute that first down, the clock stopped for the chains to reset. Now we're at 35 seconds left in the second quarter. St. Mary under center. Jacobson takes the snap. Quarterback sneak is not there. He tries to bounce it out to the left side, and he's not going to get it. big time stop made by Hayden Rader and the Pickford Panther defensive line, able to stop the Snowbirds, and that will turn the ball over on downs. Once again, Panther football at the St. Mary 47-yard line.
You know, if they ended up getting that first down, you're in the middle of the field, the clock is still running. You would have had to get something quick, or you could have spiked it.
Well, the clock stops when the chains move.
Oh,
So that little pop pass and the tackle out in the flats was a huge tackle made by Brennan. Panthers go empty again. Story in the pistol. They send Brennan in motion, and that's going to be a false start on the Pickford Panthers. It looked like it was the right side. Actually, it was a snap infraction on the center.
Not too often you see a snap infraction.
Right, Tyler? It looked like he was ready to snap it and then didn't.
He moved that ball forward before
Yeah.
he snapped it, and then he put it back in place, so he double snapped it basically.
Right.
If you're Pickford, you're thinking you're going to run this clock out.
Yeah.
After your last drive ended an interception, just get to the half, right? You have
That's
all the
right.
momentum if you're Pickford.
Coming up at the half, the Professional Seamless Gutters halftime show here on Next Level Broadcasting will assess, analyze, and talk about everything that we've seen so far in the first 24 minutes of play. See what the cues and keys to the second half will be for each of these two teams as a timeout's taken by Pickford. Timeout taken by Pickford. We're going to go ahead and take a quick 30-second timeout as well and be back right after this on Next Level Broadcast.
We all know Northern Michigan winters take a toll on our parking lots and driveways, but Gaylord Seal Coating has you covered. A proud sponsor of local high school athletics, Gaylord Seal Coating specializes in infrared seamless asphalt repair, hot pour crack filling, striping, and more. Need a new snowplow solution this winter? GSC can do that too. Commercial, residential, private roadways, and associations, Gaylord Seal Coating is your answer. Give them a call today at 989-732-5003.
And welcome back to Pickford High School. Panthers versus Snowbirds in the opening football game of the 2023 campaign. Panthers on top 24-0, 27.9 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Panthers with the ball on their own 47-yard line.
I think now we're
Hard.
expecting that run.
Yep, Brennan in the backfield gets the direct pitch, and nice play made in the backfield by big number 77, Lucas Sherwinski for the Snowbirds, and that will more than likely, well, no, Pickford's got to use it or lose it timeout. So with their use it or lose it timeout, we want to thank our friends in a freaky fast way. That's our friends at Jimmy John's in Gaylord. Hey, listen, away games call for those freaky fast meals on the road, and that's where Jimmy John's comes in to turn travel time into dinner time with their freaky fast gourmet sandwiches and their brand new location in Gaylord right across from the Hobby Lobby. Jimmy John's, freaky fast and freaky strong. So strong a tornado couldn't keep them out of business in Gaylord. And we're going to set the clock to 16 seconds as the timeout was taken.
Earlier
they're-
than what they thought they had been.
Yeah. So 16 seconds. Pickford trying to preserve as much time as possible. We've seen them hit a couple of big plays. We saw a 55-yarder for a touchdown, a punt return for a touchdown. Big plays have been the key to their success so far in the first half.
That's exactly what you had said in the pregame shows. That big plays is their mantra, and it is really that's been the story of this game so far for Pickford. That punt return, that's about as much as you want it to be.
That's right. So Story in the empty set. Metalski on the pressure on the edge. Story evades him, finds Brennan in the flat. Pass is complete. Brennan gets into Snowbird territory to the 44-yard line. And the Panthers will spend their final timeout, stopping the clock with 8.7 seconds left to go in the second quarter.
Puts that ball right at the 50-yard line, too, with 8.7 left.
That's correct. So Panthers with an opportunity, really trying to preserve that clock and see if they can put some more points on the board with another big play right before the end of the second quarter. They've had the big play offense, special teams, and their first touchdown drive of the game, they just had to grind that one out. The big play coming on that 4th and 2 where they drew the Snowbirds off sides, that was a well-designed and executed time to go to the hard count.
You know, it gave them that fresh set of downs at the goal line. They ended up punching their ticket in. And like we said, after that first drive, that opening turnover, they've really changed it.
That's correct. And let's see, we've got an encroachment on the St. Mary defensive line. One of them, it looked like it was on. Yep, it was an encroachment on Rylan Metowski for the Snowbirds. Looked like he just had his helmet and his shoulder pad cross the neutral zone there, and which drew the flag.
Well, you got 45 yards, under 9 seconds left.
No timeouts left.
What are you thinking here?
I'm thinking they keep it in Story's hands. They're going to send rounds in motion. Up the middle, pressure coming from the Snowbirds. Metowski meets him in the backfield, and Lucas Sherwinski wraps up Story for the sack, and that's going to end the first half of play. Panthers lead it 24-0 over the Gaylord St. Mary's Snowbirds after 24 minutes. We're going to step aside, charge our batteries, come back, and when we come back, we'll have the Professional Seamless Gutters halftime show right here on Next Level Broadcasting.
We all know that Jimmy John's is everyone's go-to option for freaky fast subs. But did you know that they're unveiling new menu options? That's right, Jimmy John's new menu has something for everyone and is a great way to feed the whole family. So, whether you're watching the big game, hard at work, or taking the family out to eat, Jimmy John's wants to make finding a gourmet sandwich easy. The crew of Next Level Broadcasting trusts their pregame meals to Jimmy John's, and you should too, at Jimmy John's in Gaylord.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport, TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Today's game has been brought to you by J&J Construction, Gaylord Seal Coating, Gaylord Jimmy John's, Professional Seamless Gutters, Schultz's Marathon Party Store, Golf Gaylord, and Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport.
We all know Northern Michigan winters take a toll on our parking lots and driveways, but Gaylord Seal Coating has you covered. A proud sponsor of local high school athletics, Gaylord Seal Coating specializes in infrared seamless asphalt repair, hot pour crack filling, striping, and more. Need a new snowplow solution this winter? GSC can do that too. Commercial, residential, private roadways, and associations, Gaylord Seal Coating is your answer. Give them a call today at 989-732-5003.
Today's game has been brought to you by J&J Construction, Gaylord Seal Coating, Gaylord Jimmy John's, Professional Seamless Gutters, Schultz's Marathon Party Store, Golf Gaylord, and Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport.
We all know Northern Michigan winters take a toll on our parking lots and driveways, but Gaylord Seal Coating has you covered. A proud sponsor of local high school athletics, Gaylord Seal Coating specializes in infrared seamless asphalt repair, hot pour crack filling, striping, and more. Need a new snowplow solution this winter? GSC can do that too. Commercial, residential, private roadways, and associations, Gaylord Seal Coating is your answer. Give them a call today at 989-732-5003.
Today's game has been brought to you by J&J Construction, Gaylord Seal Coating, Gaylord Jimmy John's, Professional Seamless Gutters, Schultz's Marathon Party Store, Golf Gaylord, and Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Okay, big thank you to our halftime show sponsor, Professional Seamless Gutters. We're back, halftime in Pickford. Panthers on top of the Snowbirds, 24-0. Charles Streld joined by Christian Sinjicki. We're, 24 minutes into this game, Christian, and that opening possession for the Snowbirds really seemed like it had an opportunity to set the tone, and that goal line stand by the Panthers was a huge play in swinging the momentum of this game.
Ever since that goal line stand, the momentum has been completely in Pickford's side. They've been able to do almost whatever they want with the ball. Aside from the one interception they had before the half, they've been really just kind of moving the ball effortlessly.
Want to remind everyone that we do have the Professional Seamless Gutters text-in line. You can text us at 231-497-4139. Text us for that Professional Seamless Gutters Player of the Game for tonight's game. Right now I would have to say that for the Panthers so far, it's definitely Tommy Story, but with a runner-up of Eli McDonald. If we're assigning an offensive and defensive player of the game, McDonald, got this thing started off, and he was a tackling machine in the first half for the Panthers. For the Snowbirds, I would definitely look to Daniel Jacobson. He made that interception on defense. That was a pretty big play as well. It certainly kept points off the board for the Panthers in that late stretch of the second quarter. So I'd go with those three players so far for a Professional Seamless Gutter Player of the Game, and that's just the leader in the clubhouse.
I would also go for the the leaders of the team, the quarterbacks, right? You're looking at Daniel Jacobson. He, like you just said, had the interception. They had the opportunity to do something with that interception, get the momentum back on their side. That didn't come to fruition. But Tommy Story, he's been the story, right?
That's right. You've been waiting to use that one, haven't you?
Yeah, I have been. Thank you.
Tommy Story has been the story for the Pickford Panthers so far during tonight's contest, and he's been doing it all. He's been making tackles on the outside edges, getting in there in the backfield, and then offensively, he's been, a one-man wrecking crew in space. He's been so hard to tackle in space, breaking tackles, making people miss.
If you want to look at a play that has embodied what Pickford's offense has been, and I'm not going to look at the punt return, I'm going to look at the play where Tommy Story, I think he had the touchdown, and he ended up running over St. Mary's defender en route to the goal line. And ever since that has been just the epitome of what this offense for Pickford has looked like.
Yeah, you look at what he's done and what he's been consistently able to do on the ground by picking up hard-earned yards, converting those third downs into first downs. And then, we saw a couple times where he dropped back and pass, and, he hit McConkey up the middle for a 55-yard touchdown. That was their second touchdown of the game, and Pickford's third touchdown of the game came on a punt return that Brennan took up the near sideline, and I don't think he was touched.
I was going to say that scramble to the left where it looked like they were going to run it, but the improvisation that it looked like ended up throwing off the pitch and ended up working out, got into midfield, and that was the drive that kind of started their offense, right? Because we switched to the quarter,
right,
and then they ended up scoring on that same drive.
Yeah, Yeah, we had a scoreless first quarter. If you're just joining us now, it was 0-0 goose eggs on the board after 12 minutes, and then Pickford opened it up. They really poured on or stepped on the gas pedal in the second quarter with a 24-point frame. St. Mary had it in the first quarter on their opening possession down on the goal line, but couldn't punch it in.
And we've been giving all the credit to Pickford's offense, but what about their defense as well? Their defense has been holding St. Mary's offense. Their offense has looked kind of lethargic out there.
Yeah, it looks like they haven't really realized that this is the first game of the year yet.
Yeah.
Their St. Mary defense has made a lot of plays around the line of scrimmage. They've got a couple. They've been burnt a couple times in the back end of the defense with Pickford slipping those tight ends and other players out of the backfield for big gains. We saw that with McConkey. So we'll see how things go, in the third quarter.
I do want to say that if you're St. Mary's and you want to get back in this, you need to hold those big plays. Those big plays that Pickford has been putting in, those have really been your crux in this whole thing. That if St. Mary's is able to just limit the big plays, stop them from going for big, then yeah, you're right back in it. And you have a couple of big plays yourself. Tides are turned back in your favor.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. We're going to bring Tyler Bowerman back in and kind of get what his first half analysis. Tyler, what would be your grade for the Pickford offensive line in the first 2 quarters of play? A
besides that first series. That very first series, the center snapped the ball, and it looked like it was too low for the quarterback to get, and Brett was just back there too fast. But, other than that first series, it's an A.
I'd say the Pickford defensive line as well. Their defense and their edge gap contain responsibilities.
Every time Dylan or Brett or Jacobson is trying to run the ball, before they're even out of the backfield, they're touched by at least 2 defenders.
And it also seems like their interior defensive linemen have a sixth sense to put their head up and look to see what the St. Mary offensive linemen are doing. So that defensive line for the Panthers has been able to sniff out a lot of screens and misdirections and counters that St. Mary has tried to throw at them as well. I've also been impressed with the ability of Pickford's defensive backs to hold up in coverage and not fall for.
They haven't fallen for any of the rollouts, the trick plays, anything that are supposed to get them to bite. They're not biting on it.
And maybe that's a derivative of the Pickford front 5 doing such a good job of containing the Snowbirds' ground attack that the back 3 members of the secondary don't have to come up so much and run support.
No, they don't at that point. When you have a front 5 like them, they can control the edge, they can control the middle, they're controlling the gaps from A gap to a D gap on the far side. They're controlling every gap there, making it tough sledding for them to get any yards.
It certainly has been tough sledding for the Snowbirds in the first half. Going into the third quarter, Christian, we were talking earlier before the break, maybe the Snowbirds opened it up a little bit.
Well, the lights are coming on. You hope your stars start to shine, right?
That's right.
That's, the Snowbirds, you want them to come out swinging on your first drive, your opening drive. Your stars, you want them to shine. So what are you going to do? You got to get it to your guys' hands.
That's right. Lights just turned on the field here in Pickford, and we are about 3 minutes away from resuming action.
I believe with your first drive in the second half, you have to make a statement saying that we're not out of this yet. We're not going to lie down. And Pickford has been running them over to make them lie down. But St. Mary's, it's about time for a gut check now, a real gut check.
don't know yet. Let me check how much this is at.
We're no longer live.
I don't think so.
Thanks. Back in. Yeah. Where's that other phone?
Up here.
No, the other one.
Mine? Yours?
Yeah. I don't know.
I was gonna say this is mine.
TV. The other phone.
Right here, under everything.
What just happened?
It's like the lights turned on.
And the internet went out.
It went out completely.
Dead serious?
Okay. Hit the hotspot. Yep. No. It's gonna be if I turn off the back on, sorry.
Our offense isn't clicking.
It's not. Oh, that one connected.
Yeah, we're good now.
But I have to be connected to that. To open
Okay.
the sling.
So connect the sling to this.
And I can't open the sling until I connect that to this.
Okay. Now hit OK.
And then it still brings me down.
Yep. Okay.
I don't know.
Our internet connection, huh? The internet connection just shut off?
Try it again. Here, go ahead and just close everything.
I thought I was gonna be ad-libbing for a second because I saw you take your headset off. I'm like, oh, I got this for a second, I guess.
Unplug it and plug it back in TV.
I think I'm gonna turn this off.
What?
I think. Because it's not opening anything for
Right.
me.
Right. It's like Sling just crashed.
Yeah, completely.
So these teams go to 8-man football when they don't have enough kids to play, right?
I don't know what that has never happened before.
Never. I've never had it completely.
Just stop.
No.
It happened that one time during the
4 series game
yeah.
with me and Jack.
But that was because the hotspot
Yeah, died.
I don't know. It's like they turn the lights on and the internet goes out.
Even still.
Good, Johnny. You're good to go back. Well, we need to repair this stuff.
No, that one shouldn't be need repair. That one should be the one that's repaired already.
I thought we had a really good broadcast too.
Oh, it was fine until like the last 30 seconds. Once you said the lights came on, it like gave me a poor internet connection, and then 20 seconds, like I just clicked OK. 20 seconds later, it just shut off. It like disconnected me from.
Should I cancel it? No, do you want to open the application tab when you shut down?
You should understand the problem if you wanted to soft reboot everything, because it's probably going to try and open every program again.
Don't click anything yet.
It might. It sounds like it's going to try and open everything back up as it was.
Yeah.
We're ready to start.
Well, we're back live. We want to apologize for our technical difficulties that we had recently just encountered. Once they turned the lights on, it was almost like our internet went off.
Yeah, a meteor flew over the stadium here in Pickford and blocked out the internet for about 5 minutes. And we're back in, but we didn't miss any scoring plays. Pickford hands this one around the right side of that offensive line. Big play. Oh, man, he could go all the way. That is Gunnar Brennan, and he is going to take it for a Panther touchdown.
Double pass to Gunnar Brennan for a 48-yard touchdown. Put your hands together for the Pickford Panthers.
Sweep through the house. That was a 46-yard touchdown run for Brennan and
Another score.
Panthers.
We were right
Brings
back
our student section to their feet, and they start the way.
Nick of time. It was just a quick
Number 12, Daniel Jacobson with a fake handoff and keeps it around the end.
So Jacobson taking it up around the end, and he was slow to get up over there for the Snowbirds as well. 2nd and 3 coming up for the Snowbirds after the Jacobson carry around the left side of that offensive line. So Jacobson in the empty set. He's going to fake the handoff to Brett Koshoniak, slip through one tackle, and he's going to put his head down and gain about a yard on the play.
Puts it within another good run like that, back of the first down.
That's right. I mean, a 3rd and 1. This is the type of situation that the Snowbirds want to find themselves in. 3rd and 1, 3rd and manageable. That's, their bread and butter. That's where they feel comfortable with getting themselves, able to move those chains after those type of situations.
Unfortunately for them, they haven't been able to really answer this bell much this game so far. Run right up
the middle. That's Brett Koshoniak.
They are going to get that first down.
Yep, they got the first down, and they were able to convert, move the chains. Brett Koshoniak moving the chains for the Snowbirds.
Tackle made by Ian Brown and Cale Maciak.
Ian Brown on the tackle for the Pickford Panthers.
Back in shotgun now.
Yep, shotgun. He's flanked by Brett Koshoniak. Jacobson will give to Brett Koshoniak up the middle. Brett with a gain of about 3 yards on 1st and 10.
I'm seeing the offensive line for St. Mary's play with a little more attitude now. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that sentiment, Christian. They're starting to fire off the ball and get to the second level of that Panther defense. That's one thing that head coach O'Connell really wants those offensive linemen to try and get a block, allow the running back to find a lane, and then get out to the second level of the defense. Jacobson in the shotgun once again. Receivers to the top and bottom. Jacobson will keep. He's coming around the edge. He'll slip through one tackle and gain. He'll be about a yard short of a first down, so we'll have another 3rd and 1 for the Snowbirds.
No, you're right. A yard short. Maybe he was trying to embellish that run a little bit and get that extra yard.
He stretched out the football there too.
Yes, he did.
Which is a wise thing and a smart thing to do when you're going to the ground.
Sometimes you can catch the refs maybe sleeping a little bit.
Snoozing.
Yeah. All right.
So 3rd and 1, Jacobson in the shotgun once again. High snap, hands off to Brett Koshoniak. Brett Koshoniak will have enough for a first down. Near side official has a spot that's good enough for the Snowbirds. Tyler, what did you see there on that 3rd and 1 conversion?
I mean, it's just Brett putting his head down and getting as many yards as he can. He knows he needs 1, so he just has to get down, put his head down, and just fight for that 1 yard.
Yep. So good job of Brett Koshoniak, able to get the 1 yard when needed. St. Mary now bringing in a substitute, changing their offensive packages a little bit, and timeouts taken by St. Mary. We're going to go ahead and step aside and take a timeout as well. Hear from our friends at Golf Gaylord. We'll be back on high school football on Next Level Broadcasting.
Vision Source and Gaylord Eye Care are proud to be offering their services to local communities across northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Point City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
All right, we're back after that Snowbird timeout. Ball is on the Pickford 40-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Snowbirds. 2 minutes, 55 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. St. Mary with a pretty good looking drive so far. Direct snap to Jacobson. He shakes a man in the backfield and is met by 4 Panthers right away. And he's gang tackled for no gain. Eli McDowell on the tackle for the Panthers. And as we mentioned earlier during the halftime show, and Tyler alluded to it as well, the defensive line for the Panthers, they're almost like covered in Vaseline because the Snowbirds just can't block them for long enough. I mean, they're slipping off of those tackles. They're able to shed those blocks and make plays in the backfield so many times.
They are. That defensive line, they're getting in. They're making that pressure. And
they're making plays.
Yeah.
Direct snap to Jacobson working around the left side of the line. He cuts it upfield for a gain of about 7 yards on the carry.
If you were to say the stars of the team right now for Pickford.
I mean, it's definitely defensively, it's McDowell. Offensively, it's Story. Tyler, let's bring you in.
I mean, this is the first drive we saw from the Snowbirds.
Right.
It just replayed, I don't know, 2 hours later, an hour later. I mean, it's the same exact drive. We're driving all the way down the field, death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yep. And I really think if the Snowbirds had been able to punch it in on that first possession, this game would have felt a lot differently. It's 3rd and 2 from the Panther 35-yard line. Jacobson in the empty formation. He'll take the snap, high snap. Snowbirds pull the right side of that offensive line. Jacobson breaks a tackle, slips through a tackle down at the Panther 20-yard line, eventually brought down there by Cale Maciag, I should say. And Jacobson sets up Gaylord St. Mary with the first down at the 20-yard line of the Pickford Panthers. So Gaylord St. Mary stringing together consecutive positive plays here. One thing I want to mention here, Christian, we haven't seen an offensive penalty for the Snowbirds on this drive. Doing a good job of staying ahead of the chains.
That is probably their biggest positive right now. They're keeping it clean on offense. They can't really afford having anything more negative going on with the offensive side of the ball.
Correct. They send Metalski to the bottom of the screen. They hand off to Brett Koshoniak, and a big-time tackle made in the backfield. Man, he was in there, shot out of a cannon, was Eli McDonald.
That visibly actually made me do that stink face. You know, you sour your lips together, and you're like, ooh, that one.
Eli McDonald was about a half second there from taking the handoff. He shot right through the gap. Tyler, did you see what happened there? Did St. Mary pull that guard and McDonald just followed the guard?
He might have, but he's also been timing up the snap. He's been waiting, trying to get that snap count perfectly from Daniel Jacobson, which is what defensive linemen try to do, and try to get that perfect jump so then you're in the backfield before the running back even has the ball.
Yep, and he got a jump on it, and as we did, we got a jump on it as we were driving up here tonight. We stopped in at the Schultz's Marathon Party Store. Like I said, Snowbird fans, we know that the Ski Valley, your away games, you're either going north, and if you're going north, you're on I-75, stopping in to fuel up, get all your snacks, get your goodies, get your, feel-good items. You can get all those at Schultz's Marathon Party Store in Wolverine. Fuel up on the snacks, the jerky, and all the other essentials for a road trip. That's Schultz Marathon Party Store in Wolverine. So,
are you a jerky eater, Charles?
I do like jerky, and especially I like the jerky from Schultz's Marathon Party Store. It's good stuff, good people. You can find it all at Schultz's Party Store. As we have a little bit of time here, we also want to thank our – actually, we're going to go ahead and go back to live action. It's 2nd and 14. Ball on the 23-yard line of the Panthers. Jacobson in the empty set formation takes the snap. This is going to be a run right up the middle. Well blocked. Jacobson cuts to the right side. He's got a hole. He's got another block. Big-time block. Jacobson into the end zone for a Snowbird touchdown. 6 points on the board for the Snowbirds with a big lead block, actually a crackback block by Rylan Metalski out there on the perimeter that freed up Jacobson for the last 5 yards to get in there for a touchdown. That's right, what the doctor ordered for the Snowbirds.
That is exactly right. You can now take a big sigh of relief because, A, you're not going to get shut out. You don't have that big fat goose egg going on the scoreboard right now, and now you have a little bit of momentum. Say you have a couple of big runs in the next quarter because we only have 49 seconds left.
All right, so Snowbirds lining up to go for the 2-point conversion here. Jacobson in the empty set once again. He'll take the snap. It's a delay to the right side, trying to get to the corner, met by, it was a
combination of players.
Gunnar Brennan out there on the perimeter for the Panthers laying the lumber. So the Snowbirds are denied on the 2-point conversion. but a positive sign, a sign of life for that Snowbird offense, able to punch it in for 6 points.
If you're rooting for the Snowbirds, you would have really liked to have seen that extra 2 go on, but hey, you can take the 6 right now and you can be happy with it.
Well, you saw what the Snowbird offense is capable of when they string together consecutive positive plays and don't put themselves behind the markers with offsides, false starts, holdings. You know, we still haven't seen one single holding call in tonight's game. And Tyler, as an offensive and defensive lineman, that is got to be a record.
Oh, it has to be a record. I mean, especially with me in retirement. I mean, I think I held the St. Mary's record for the most holding penalties in a single season.
What was the record for your most holds in one game?
Oh, it had to be close to 5 or 6.
5 or 6, and were you trying to block a beast, a monster, or were you trying to get like a reach block or something?
They're all monsters down there. Especially when you play these UP teams. I mean, they're big.
Well, give credit to the strength and conditioning program, to the Pickford Panthers and all the other Upper Peninsula teams for having those monster interior defensive linemen that Tyler just alluded to. And we're going to allude to the fact there's only 49 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Third quarter flew by, it seems like. St. Mary kicking it back deep for the Panthers is Gunnar Brennan.
This game as a whole is flying by. Not very many pass plays, not very many clock stoppages.
Onside kick for the Snowbirds is fielded by the first line of receivers by the Panthers. Big number 58 there, able to make the recovery. That's Eli McDonald. He's had his hands on everything tonight in the backfield. I believe he does have the fumble recovery for the Panthers as well. And he made that huge hit, that big play on the last defensive possession as the Snowbirds were moving it down the field. So critical possession here for the Panthers. 48 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
To go back to the penalties, you don't really know that you're committing a penalty while you're on the field. That adrenaline is so high.
Right. That's right. Story in the empty set. He'll send a man in motion. They're going to option out the left side. That's going to be a hold. It'll be a hold on the Panthers. Tyler, you saw that one from the start.
He didn't block him. He tackled him to the ground.
Or illegal motion. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty instead of the 10-yarder version of the hold. I mean, you could have
called it either way there.
Yeah, there were 2 fouls on the play, really.
You almost had the announcer's jinx right there.
I know.
It happens in the pros a lot, especially with kicks. But you almost had it with the holding call. It was close.
It certainly was, so that'll back the Panthers up 5 yards here. An opportunity for the Snowbirds to really, flex their muscle defensively here.
Well, that and a big thing is also stops the clock, too, that flag.
Well, it stops the clock, and it's a replay of first down, so we'll see if the Snowbirds are able to contain them here on 1st and 15. Empty set. Look, low snap. Story's going to have to pick this one up and make something happen. He does. He's around the corner. Gets back to the initial line of scrimmage. Puts his head down and is wrestled out of bounds at the Snowbird 47-yard line. Nice pickup of 8 yards on the broken play, if you will. It was a low snap. Picked it up off his shoestrings and then just motored around the right side of that offensive line. And
there's no in-between for these two teams in their snaps. I've noticed St. Mary's has high snaps and Pickford has low snaps.
Yeah, well, as a Michigan State graduate, I'm all for teams having trouble with the snap. That's something that's okay for me, but for these high school teams, a high snap, a low snap, if you're a quarterback and you get one of those, a high heater or a low one down on the shoelaces, you just got to pick it up and go. And that's what Story did there. It's 2nd and 7 for the Panthers on the Snowbird 47. He'll fake the handoff. He's got a lot of room around the left side of the offensive line. Gets a block. He's out there in space. Tackle made by Dylan Croft at the Snowbird 30-yard line. But it's a gain of 17 yards for Story and the Panthers.
I remember that play that you were referring to, that low snap to the ball, Michigan State.
Yeah, I think a lot of people remember that one.
That one's a big one, right?
Yeah, trouble with the snap. So that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter by the time this ball is snapped here, unless Pickford goes on a quick count. We're at 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the third quarter ends with that. Panthers on top of the Snowbirds, 32-6. Each team with a touchdown on the board in the third quarter. We're going to step aside here and be back with fourth quarter action, high school football on Next Level Broadcasting, coming back right after this.
We all know Northern Michigan winters take a toll on our parking lots and driveways, but Gaylord Seal Coating has you covered. A proud sponsor of local high school athletics, Gaylord Seal Coating specializes in infrared seamless asphalt repair, hot pour crack filling, striping, and more. Need a new snowplow solution this winter? GSC can do that too. Commercial, residential, private roadways, and associations, Gaylord Seal Coating is your answer. Give them a call today at 989-732-5003.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
We all know that Jimmy John's is everyone's go-to option for freaky fast subs. But did you know that they're unveiling new menu options? That's right, Jimmy John's new menu has something for everyone and is a great way to feed the whole family. So, whether you're watching the big game, hard at work, or taking the family out to eat, Jimmy John's wants to make finding a gourmet sandwich easy. The crew of Next Level Broadcasting trusts their pregame meals to Jimmy John's, and you should too.
Back into the fourth quarter, 1st and 10 for Pickford on the Snowbird 30-yard line. It's Story breaks a tackle all the way down to the St. Mary 5-yard line, and he will be dragged out of bounds by the Snowbirds. Stopped by Lucas Sherwinski, and Story runs all the way down to the 5-yard line, and the Snowbirds have an opportunity, actually the Panthers have an opportunity to regain some of that lead and push this thing back to a 5-score game.
St. Mary's, they had that little bit of momentum there after their touchdown.
Yeah, a little bit of momentum, but Pickford looking to take it right back. Hits Story in the empty set. He will duck inside a couple of blocks, motor down, and is down just shy of the goal line, maybe at the 1-foot line, I'd say, Christian.
St. Mary's with the hard stop. They need one if they need to keep chugging away back into this game.
Yeah, that's definitely something that they, this is pretty much the game right here. If the Panthers are able to put another 6 points or 8 points on the board, I don't know if the Snowbirds are going to be able to come back from this kind of deficit in the fourth quarter. 11 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock. Story in the empty set. He's going to run this one right into a wall. That's Lucas Sherwinski.
Good couple of stops right there from the St. Mary's defense. They need just a couple more of those. We're in 3rd and goal. You need 2 more stops just like that. I imagine from Pickford we're going to see something maybe come out the weak side.
Yeah, if they go to the weak side of that offensive line, they ran right into the strength of that Snowbird defense there, and Sherwinski was there waiting.
We got 10.5 to go. Coming up.
Yeah, 10.5.
To the right side.
And he's
diving
in.
For the goal line. Touchdown.
And he scores a touchdown for the Pickford Panthers.
Was that Story again?
It was.
Yep. What did I say at the half? Story has been the story.
Oh, man. You said it. You reused it, recycled that one.
Man, I feel dirty for that one. I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay, man. I'm sure in the Pickford newspaper, that story will be in there mentioned at least once.
At least once. Maybe twice, 3 times.
And they're going to keep this one. It's thrown up into the end zone, and it's caught. Oh, my goodness. That somehow found the hands of Story. It was a toss by Braylon Rounds, threw it up to Story, and he came down with it? Did my eyes just deceive me? Do I need to go to the Gaylord Eye Care Center?
We might need to go to the other side of the field, check our eyes on the way over there, because I have shocked Pikachu face.
Yeah, man.
Like that's. I don't know if you ended up seeing in the distance the car alarms that went off, but maybe that was just because the cars were just as shook as we were with that catch.
I mean, an unbelievable play made by Pickford on the 2-point conversion. It's 10-19 left on the scoreboard in the fourth quarter. Score is 40-6. Panthers on top of the Snowbirds. Thanks for hanging out with us on Next Level Broadcasting's coverage of high school football opening night in northern Michigan. It's it's the gateway to opening night, and let me tell you about the gateway to northern Michigan. That's Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport, and now is the time to fly TVC. TVC Airport will get you out to your destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com to book your next travel trip. Squib kick up the middle, fielded at the 25-yard line. That's Jacobson and the Snowbirds. He's got a seam up the right side, across midfield, out to the Panther 40-yard line, eventually dragged down at the Panther 37. Nice return by Jacobson, and the Snowbirds doing a good job of, well, trying to get that momentum back on the side of the Snowbirds.
Well, we got 10-11 left to go. Maybe the momentum's not completely back, and they might not regain it. But you know what you do is you don't quit and you keep playing, because these are still reps. These are still important reps at this point.
I'd say right now St. Mary is playing all, getting their rhythm for the next week.
That's right. These are still important reps. This is live reps too. I remember being in high school. This is important.
Handoff up the middle to Dylan Croft. He makes it all the way out to the Panther 30-yard line. Tyler, what'd you see there?
I mean, that was just a good one cut up the middle, put his foot in the ground, and then just went straight forward.
Right.
But was you guys saying these are very important reps, because the next, 3-4 weeks we play conference opponents, and
that's
those,
true.
I mean, those are must-win games. You can't lose any of those.
Right. Next week, the Snowbirds will be at conference opponent Central Lake, just as you mentioned. Jacobson takes the snap, hands to Croft again. Same play. Croft puts his foot in the ground, makes another one-cut run, and he's out across and picking up a first down. He's down to the 26-yard line.
What I'm noticing, back to what was getting them down the field in the first drive that they had, that it ended up, it's now starting to work. That 3 yards in a cloud of dust, it's coming to work for them.
Go ahead, Tyler, with that thought.
I said that in the second and third quarter we had no running game at all. It was just non-existent. And then in the fourth quarter and late in that third quarter, it just picked up miraculously. And we needed to see that more majority of that game. This game.
4 more yards and stopped by Tommy Story and Hayden Hagan.
Back in the shotgun.
Yeah, let's see what they got drawn up here. Handing off to Jake Butler on the inside give. Butler is going to take this one for about a 2-yard pickup on the right side of the offensive line. It'll leave him with a 3rd and 4. Man, even with a commanding 40-6 lead, this Panther defense is still swarming, getting to the ball, a fast flow. And you know what I've been impressed with, Christian, is they don't miss tackles.
No, these are still live reps for them too. They've been playing a good, solid game on defense, as made evident by the score. But this is very important for them. Maybe, something
and there's
they
a
can hang their hat on.
high snap, but Butler is able to receive it from Jacobson.
High snap on one side, low snap on the other side.
Right. No, you got to be able to be prepared. As a quarterback, you got to be ready to handle all different types of high snaps, whether they're high, low.
In high school football, you're looking at probably your best athlete is your quarterback.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's why they're out there. They're the leaders, right?
That's right, the leader of the team, and they'll also have to be very cognitive of what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. Here's a little screen out in the flat. Brett Koshoniak's got it for the Snowbirds. He gets tackled by the shoestrings at the 3-yard line, but enough for a first down for the Snowbirds. Nice completed pass there for the Snowbirds, and their goal to go now.
Their run game opened up that pass. That was some good play action out into the flat. He was uncovered, Brett was.
Right, and he did a good job of kind of faking like he was going to block down and then slipped out into the flats, and Jacobson put the pass right on him. But like you said earlier, Pickford not missing open field tackles. Snowbirds are going to send one receiver down into the boundary of the near side of the screen. Handoff inside to Jake Butler. He's picking his way in for a Snowbird touchdown. So Snowbirds are on the board on back-to-back scoring drives, putting 6 more on the board. It's 40-12.
Those important reps. Here it is. If they had kept this kind of intensity and energy in the first half, you could have afforded maybe even missing that third quarter like they did. But they,
it was really the second quarter where the wheels fell off for the Snowbirds. If you take away the second quarter, they played the Panthers even throughout this game. I mean, it was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter, and right now if the Snowbirds are able to convert this 2-point conversion, Pickford would only be up by 2 points.
Going back to the defense, that defense has made some plays to keep them in it.
Snowbirds are going to go straight dive look. Dylan Croft reaches the ball out and gets it for the 2-point conversion. They go with the split back look, dive right up the middle to the big senior Dylan Croft, and St. Mary puts it on the board. It's 40-14.
Yeah, you're playing for next week. These are good reps here at the end. They're finishing strong. This has been their high point of the game.
Yep.
As mentioned before, their defense was able to make some plays. It's unfortunate for St. Mary's that their offense is awakening here late in the game, but that's their game plan also. Their offense always comes alive
Yep, they're definitely building for next week. While they're building for next week, we're going to step aside and hear from our friends at J&J Construction.
Are you interested in building a new home or renovating an existing one? With over 100 years of combined experience, J&J Construction is one of the most reliable and respected general contractors in our service area. J&J is a trusted construction partner valued by architects, subcontractors, financiers, and most of all, their clients. J&J Construction has been completing quality homes and improvement projects that add value to the communities they serve. They bring a passion for innovation and a commitment to quality to every job they do. Call them today.
Welcome back. Jacobson with it on the tee for the Snowbirds, and it's a squib kick. Bounces a high bounce. St. Mary can get this one, and they do. So St. Mary recovers the onside kick. That was a really, really nice onside kick by the quarterback, number 12, Daniel Jacobson. Tyler, I know you didn't kick a lot of onside kicks in your playing days, but, I mean, that had a 2-hop bounce.
Yeah, it's the hop you want. You want that first hop to get it's almost a small hop, and that second hop you want to take that large hop over that first defender.
Yep.
And find that, open field of grass right behind that first defender, and there's always that little patch, and it's rare you get that second bounce like that, but they recovered it.
Right, it's like a ground ball hit off of the bat and just kind of jumps up. And actually, the Snowbird who recovered it was Jackson Koenig. So Snowbirds with the ball on the Panther. Let's see here, 42. Jacobson with Croft flanking him to his left. Shotgun snap, handoff to Croft. He's got a lane up the right side, slips one tackle. He is going to go. Dylan Croft in the open field. Can he make it all the way? Gets tripped up, rumbling, stumbling, fumbling down at the 5-yard line. And St. Mary with another goal to go, with an opportunity to hang points on the board in a hurry.
Regardless of the score, St. Mary's is making this an exciting game here in the fourth quarter.
They certainly are, and a timeout taken by the Panthers after St. Mary opens up a running lane for Dylan Croft. And we're going to step aside here and be back in 1 minute on Next Level Broadcasting.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
We all know that Jimmy John's is everyone's go-to option.
Nope.
But did you know that they're
Welcome back into Next Level Broadcasting. Snowbirds getting set up at the 5-yard line by the run by Dylan Croft.
They're catching the Panthers defense snoozing a bit.
That's right. Jacobson in the shotgun, turns and hands to Croft up the right side of that line. Croft slips a tackle, and he's in for 6. And the Snowbirds strike fast Dylan Croft in. There's 6:51 left in the fourth quarter, and we're on the verge of having a ball game here, folks. It's 40-20. Snowbirds down by, potentially, if they can get this 2-point conversion, 18 points. Unfortunately, that is still 3 scores. So 40-20 here. Snowbirds line up for the 2-point conversion. Dylan Croft flanking Jacobson in the shotgun. Here's the snap, high snap. Give to Croft up the middle. He's in for the 2-point conversion. So Snowbirds really finding something that's working right up the middle on the left side of that offensive line. Feeding the ball to the big senior Dylan Croft. He's in for the 2-point conversion. Snowbirds down by 18. 6:51 left to go in the fourth quarter from Pickford High School. Charles Strail joined by Tyler Bowerman, Johnny Burkhart, Christian Sensicki, my co-host tonight. And we're still working on the pronunciation of his last name, and we're going to get it right. But, Christian, what did you see there?
What I'm seeing is I think the Panthers' defense is, like I said, snoozing a little bit, and I wonder if Panthers head coach Josh Rader is going to come and maybe talk something into them. They've been, these last few drives, they haven't been quite 100% there like they were in the first few quarters, unless maybe just the St. Mary's offense is really executing just that well.
Well, we saw a successful onside kick attempt the last time Jacobson teed it up for the Snowbirds. Tyler, you would imagine and envision seeing another one here. It's pretty hard to get that good second bounce 2 times in a row. Let's see if Jacobson can do that.
Yeah, we're hoping. I mean, we're all crossing our fingers and hoping this lands right over him.
So Jacobson tees it up. Another good bounce into Snowbirds.
Oh, wow.
They've got it again.
It's that I was about to say after the last onside kick, the thing that makes it makes an X factor, the shape of the football being that oblong shape. You can't predict where that's going to go.
Well, that was a different style of onside kick than that other one. That one really just went in there and it bounced right off the chest plate of Eli McDonald, and the Snowbirds were there to pounce on it. The first one that Jacobson got went to the left side and got the second bounce up about 8 feet, and Koenig was able to recover it. Did you see who got that one, Tyler?
Kashoniak got that one.
Okay, so Brett Kashoniak. Snowbirds setting up shop at midfield. Their 3rd straight offensive possession after recovering 2 consecutive onside kicks. High snap. Jacobson's going to keep it. Working around the right side. Breaks 1 tackle and is eventually dragged down. First player in on the tackle for the Panthers. I believe that was Tommy Story who made the stop. We've got 6 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the ball game. It's an 18-point game. Panthers ahead of the Snowbirds.
These late game snaps, they're like we were saying, they're important. They're actually starting to be important for the structure of this game. Yeah,
that's right. Jacobson in the shotgun again. He'll fake the handoff, keep it, throw it out in the flat to Brett Kashoniak. He's got some room. He's got a blocker out in front of him. Brett Kashoniak with a Snowbird first down, and he is across into Panther territory. 15-yard pickup on the pass play. Snowbirds moving it down. Eli McDonald on the tackle there. That was a good little wrinkle there. They showed the play action. They thought they were going to bring Jacobson, and they just slipped Kashoniak in the flats.
That was the exact same play, just flipped, that we saw that led them to the touchdown.
That's correct. They just flipped it and ran it to the near side of the field. Snowbirds send Rylan Mentowski into the weak side of the formation. Jacobson takes the handoff, gives to Croft up the middle. Croft has a lane, and he just couldn't slip out of the tackle by Tommy Story. That was a great – if Tommy Story doesn't make that tackle, Dylan Croft is chugging for a touchdown.
Yeah, he would still be running. He'd be running right into the end zone right about now. Croft isn't the fastest guy. He's got size to him.
Right.
And that's not an easy tackle to make either.
And the Snowbirds have found something with that inside running game with Dylan Croft. They send a man in motion, hand off to Croft, and that's going to be a penalty on the Snowbirds. Croft slips a couple of tackles, and we've got a penalty marker down. We'll see what the and waiting for the explanation. And it was a false start on the Snowbirds, so that's going to back them up 5 yards. Tyler, did you see what there was there?
I think it was a legal procedure penalty.
Okay.
Because if it was a false start, the play would have never happened, and they would have just blown the play dead.
Correct. Good analysis, Tyler. That's why we bring you out here. It's 2nd and 9 now. Snowbirds will replay 2nd down. Shotgun handoff to Dylan Croft. He's met by a couple of Panthers right away. Big time play made on the interior of that Pickford defensive line. That was Eli McDonald. He's certainly doing his best to make up for not being able to recover that onside kick.
Now, that offensive line for St. Mary's, you have to wonder, are they getting gassed out there? They just keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
This is their 3rd consecutive series, but you got to imagine that Pickford's defense, I mean, their interior linebackers got their hands on their hips, and pretty much everybody's looking a little winded right now with 4 minutes, 15 seconds left in the game. Fake, Jacobson keeps. He's dragged and eventually brought down by Eli McDonald. It looked like he was in the grasp of the first Pickford defender, and St. Mary is going to take a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout as well and come back on the other side of this. This is high school football on Next Level Broadcasting.
Vision Source and Gaylord Eye Care are proud to be offering their services to local communities across northern Michigan. With locations in Gaylord, Point City, Bel Air, and Sheboygan, they're committed to serving you and providing a trusted source of credentials and expertise. If you're struggling with anything vision related, then don't hesitate to schedule a consultation and meet their friendly and experienced staff for yourself.
And we're back here, 4th and 15 for the Snowbirds. Jacobson in the shotgun, Dylan Croft to his left. Rylan Metalski at the bottom of the screen. Jacobson's going to drop back to pass, roll out, throwing it up, and that's going to be intercepted by Gunnar Brennan at the Panther 20-yard line.
Boy, it looked like the wide receivers down there for St. Mary's kind of lost the ball in the air once it went up.
It almost looked as if Jacobson was expecting the receiver to run a post pattern, and the receiver was running more of a 9 route or just a straight go route instead of the post. And he threw that into the middle of the field where that post route would have been. So the interception made by Brennan, but if the pass is incomplete, Pickford gets the ball at the 50.
I was just about to make that same play. It looks good in the stat sheet.
But they didn't need to catch the ball. And that's Tommy Story putting his head down for a pickup of 3 yards on the short carry on 1st and 10. As you were saying, Christian, you know, for everybody watching at home, why would he catch that? Well, when you're out there competing, you know, you don't think sometimes about where the field position balance is going to swing to if you just don't catch that interception.
I'll be real with you. I would have caught that too.
I mean,
that looks good at the end of the day.
It looks good on the stat sheet.
Yeah. That, and you can also go home and say, yeah, you had an interception.
That's right.
I would have done the same thing.
So it's 40-22. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter here. And the kickoff game of the Next Level Broadcasting football season. Story takes the snap, flips over, breaks a tackle as Brennan, and he's eventually brought down by a couple of Snowbirds. First Snowbird in there making the tackle was Rylan Metalski, and he's getting up a little he's getting up a little bit limber as that left ankle looks like he's trying to shake it off.
I mean, at what point, do you consider maybe, maybe putting the ball in someone else's hands to avoid injury? We're late in the game. These guys have been running hard.
I'd say Story's got to be going on 30 carries right now. Yeah.
I think if Story's given the chance or even asked, he's not coming out, and he wants to compete until that clock hits 0-0-0.
Especially with the success that we've seen St. Mary have here in the last part of the game.
Looking at a timeout here.
Yeah, we're looking at a timeout, and that's going to give us an opportunity to thank all of our sponsors one more time. This one we want to thank our friends at J&J Construction, the Gaylord Eye Care, Jimmy John's, Gaylord Seal Coating, also Golf Gaylord, Professional Seamless Gutters, Schultz's Marathon Party Store, and Traverse City Cherry Capital TVC Airport for bringing this live stream and making it possible to you wherever you're watching from. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to drop a like or subscribe to the channel, please do so. Follow the Facebook page. That way you won't miss a beat for all of our upcoming live stream coverage of high school football this fall.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to hit an open Jimmy John's on the way back, are we?
Oh, man. That'd be nice.
It would be.
But, you know, fortunately we got that prepackaged of Jimmy John's for the road trip up here.
Oh, yes.
Turning drive time into dinner time. So it's 3rd and 5 for the Panthers. They send a man in motion. And Story is going to take this one speed option around the left side. Gets the first down. Dylan Croft was the first Snowbird there, but just couldn't get there in time. And Story picks up the first down for the Panthers, and that was a pivotal first down for the Panthers, as that's going to move the chains and allow them to really milk some of this clock away on the fourth quarter. So
you can tell the boys on St. Mary's have been playing hard just by the color of their the jerseys, the uniforms, right? You know you've been rolling over, playing hard. They used to be all white.
Got some grass stains on those things.
Just a little bit.
Well, I would say the fourth quarter for St. Mary, as Tyler talked about earlier, you know, getting these reps as the conference games are upcoming. You get those reps in the fourth quarter that translate over to the first quarter of next week.
You look at the positives that St. Mary's had. 22 points in a quarter, and they even missed an extra point, or they missed the 2 extra point conversion.
That's right. And for Pickford, man, you got to love the overall offensive execution, defensive execution. The only times that St. Mary was able to really get into Panther territory was on those onside kicks. When St. Mary had to go and work against that set Panther defense for 70 yards, it was very formidable. Pickford's got a good team this year.
Well, there was 2 drives for St. Mary's that really looked inspiring, right? Their opening drive where they got to the goal line but couldn't quite close it out, and then there was another drive here in the fourth quarter that they were able to close it out by having that long drive.
Yeah.
They've had a couple drives, but Pickford, they were just too much for them first 3 quarters.
I totally agree with you, Christian. Tyler, your closing remarks here from Pickford.
I mean, we just got to bury the film, look forward to conference play, and just you gotta beat Central Lake in Forest area.
That's right. And your takeaway for Pickford, their season outlook here from what you've seen going against the St. Mary defense.
Pickford's defense looked amazing today, and their front 5 on the offensive line have been protecting Story and giving him all the time he needs to run, pass, whatever he wants to do. He's been doing it back there.
Their offense looks like they've been playing with 11 men instead of 8.
Yes, for sure.
So Story is going to take a knee, and the Panthers are going to beat the Snowbirds with a final score of 40-22. For our entire crew of Next Level Broadcasting, we thank you for tuning in. Good night, everyone, and we'll be back next week for Gaylord St. Mary at Central Lake. Tune in to Next Level Broadcasting and Raider Athletics and Next Level Broadcasting Plus for Friday night's showdown primetime event between the Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators and the Charlevoix Raiders. That'll be on Next Level Broadcasting and an alternative stream on Raider Athletics. Good night, everyone.
Today's game has been brought to you by J&J Construction, Gaylord Seal Coating, Gaylord Jimmy John's, Professional Seamless Gutters, Schultz's Marathon Party Store, Golf Gaylord, and Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport.